Welcome to our presentation about our knowledge of core principles of game design. And we have created a concept of a game that we think would appeal to an appropriate audience and that would be fun to play.
Who's doing each slide? I will be doing the game concept and development. Who's doing each slide on genre and synopsis? Joe will be doing the target audience, platform, example of potential map designs and conclusion. And Slav will be doing the core principles, mechanic expanded, rewards, level design, and minimum requirements for PC.
So core principles are a set of rules and/or guidelines which let game designers create a successful game following a set piece of rules or guidelines. For example, mechanics, which would be the pillar the game is structured around, rewards, which would draw the player into playing the game more, and level design, which is the way of immersing the player and feeling more part of the game as they're playing it.
The game concept and development. The game will be a shooter-based game off of the Afghan War. This will be up to date and released from 1978 to present day, using most of the weapons from that time frame and the time of the war, which would be AKs, light machine guns, or machine guns, and RPGs. Having the war be brought in at certain points and being able to use that character to fight the war, giving them a different story to other characters. This could be them as an Afghani or as an American or Allied army troop. The genre, this will be a first-person tactical shooter. This will be brought in within the sections of the campaign that the player is using in that timeline. Multiplayer will be most of the time be played like it's a run and gun. Campaign will also be a tactical shooter due to the player being punished if they try to skip ahead at all. The synopsis. Within playing multiplayer and campaign, the character that is being used in the campaign has been set out to either retrieve some information or not die to the Afghan army or the American soldiers. If he actually does die, then the mission is failed, and the player will then have to start from a checkpoint that is picked up as the player is going through the mission. Within multiplayer, the player has unlimited lives apart from some of the game modes, and will have to try and get as many kills as possible to unlock a new level, bringing them closer to the rewards. Most of the rewards are gained through levels, and will get the player to a higher standard of gameplay based off of their KD. This is sometimes monitored by them, and their games will mostly be based off of their skill level.
For the target audience, this game is targeted for people aged 18 plus. This is due to the involved gore, violence, and use of bad language. The age rating of this game is 18, as it includes gruesome violence, in some cases defenseless characters being killed. This game includes use of bad language. This should not be suitable for any under the age of 18, as it may influence their way of speech. This game also refers to drugs and alcohol. Nobody under the age should be involved in these acts. For the platform, the main platform that the game will be based on is the PC, with most of the mechanics being suitable for this platform, although it will also be available on Xbox and PlayStation. The game will have improved graphics depending on what console you have, with going and playing the game on a next-gen console with the graphics will be more realistic. This also stands with what graphics card you have in your PC. Although the PC will most likely have the better graphics due to the graphics cards being better and stronger to run a game like this. Also, with using the game on PC, you will be able to add more realistic lighting and graphics through ray tracing technology.
For PC, we wanted to make the specs quite low so everyone can enjoy the game. And the CPU we have chosen as the minimum would be an Intel Core i3-6300, which is a relatively low 2-core 4-threaded processor. And we selected a graphics card of an NVIDIA GTX 960, which is quite a mid-range card. And the game will be mainly GPU heavy, allowing it to be run by a lot more people, and the GPU will just control the graphics and how smoothly the game will run. Some of the key mechanics that will be within the game are movement, shooting, and weapon physics. Some movement mechanics will include sprinting, proning, jumping, crouching, and other stealthy movements. And some of the weapon physics will be aiming down, leaning, recoil control, weapon weight, ammo pickups. And there are 3 customizable classes for each weapon, with each one being suited to a different playstyle, where you could play as stealth classes, which consist of mainly non-lethal and silenced weapons, loud classes, which consist of heavy weapons and explosives, and balanced, where you can pick and choose depending on how you want to play. And some more mechanics include destructible environments, such as walls, doors, and windows. And the heavier and more powerful your weapon is, the more damage it will do to the environment and to your enemies. Such materials that bullets will be able to penetrate are wood and drywall. As you level up, you will unlock different weapons for each class, and each weapon being better suited to each individual class. You will also unlock attachments for each gun by leveling that gun up by earning XP with it, and you earn XP by killing enemies in specific ways and methods or in specific scenarios. To reward the player for their performances in online games, you'll be rewarded with score streaks, which can range from tactical drones to missile launches. The higher your level and the higher your score, the better and more useful your score streak will be. To reward the player for exploring and having an eagle eye, many things can be found around maps and mission areas, such as small Easter eggs and references to pop culture and other interactions and media from the war. The main time frame of this game is the Afghan War, which began in 1978 and is currently ongoing. This gives us a broad scale of where we could base our levels and base our missions. So the range could be from small close quarters combat between blocks of buildings in the United States, or large-scale maps such as fields of Pakistan and the deserts of Iran. Some key obstacles would be the enemies that you are fighting against, who are armed with artillery and will do everything they can to stop you from progressing. Each major area of a campaign mission will include a checkpoint to ensure that the game is enjoyable and can be progressed without having to repeat the same areas over and over again if you're struggling. To immerse the player in our gameplay, each multiplayer map will consist of an area or location from one of those single-player maps, with each map holding different teams and different factions, so no same team will be played on 2 different maps.
For the examples of potential map designs, we have provided inspiration from multiple games which have used wars and battles as their main inspiration. Provided games are Battlefield 1, Call of Duty 2, Medal of Honor, and Allied Assault. Included within this is also a model found on the Valve website, created by Render 3, and it can be further viewed here on the following website. Our game will be a PEGI 18 with a riveting storyline based on the Afghan War and the troubles within it. Each mission will contain multiple aspects of loud and stealth combat, with visible gore and strong language to represent the emotion and the atmosphere of the war. With the player never being on a specific side of the battles, it allows the player to choose who they believe is right. Each battle, each weapon, and each character has a story and meaning in the game.